about Daemon Targaryen and Laena Velaryon. What's their story? So before she married Daemon, Laena Velaryon was actually betrothed to somebody else. Daemon had already been married once before to Lady Rhea of House Royce. She died falling off her horse whilst Daemon was hundreds and hundreds of miles away fighting in the Stepstones. Just wanted to put that out there. He wasn't there. He didn't bump her off. Daemon goes to the Vale to appeal to Lady Jane Arryn to try and claim his inheritance, and he's swiftly told, no, on your bike. On his way back to the Stepstones, Daemon stops off at Driftmark, the seat of House Velaryon. He is buddies with Corlys. They are in this war in the Stepstones together. Fire and Blood tells it that this is when Daemon met Laena, fully grown up. She's in her early 20s at this point. Daemon is in his, he's in his 30s, mid-30s. Laena Velaryon was described as tall, slender and surpassingly lovely, with a great mane of silver gold ringlets that fell down past her waist. But Laena had been promised to somebody else, to the son of the Sea Lord of Braavos. Now, the Sea Lord actually died before his son could marry Laena, and that was perfect for Corlys Velaryon because he was trying to delay this marriage. Yeah, the Sea Lord of Braavos' son, he was described as an oaf. I mean, they say he was a fool, a wastrel, squandered his family's wealth and power before turning up on Driftmark, basically cap in hand. Corlys was like, no. You're not marrying my daughter. He wanted more for Laena. This is where Daemon enters the story. He openly, publicly asks Corlys for Laena's hand in marriage, right in front of her betrothed. The son of the Sea Lord is like, excuse me? She's meant to marry me? So what did Daemon do? According to Fire and Blood, Daemon mocked him to his face so savagely the boy had no choice but to call him to defend his words with steel. So a duel, a fight. Armed with Dark Sister, the prince made short work of his rival and wed Lady Laena Velaryon a fortnight later. All without the permission of his brother, the king, Viserys. Daemon knew this would not be well received, so rather than going back to King's Landing and saying, hey, this is the wife, he and Laena fly east to Essos, and that is where they spend the beginning part of their marriage. They fly from place to place, guests of honour, really. It is said huge crowds turned out for a glimpse of Vhagar and Caraxes. Now, Laena and Daemon didn't really have a home base. They were always flitting from one location to the next, kind of trying to not outstay their welcome. I do think that had to be difficult, like not having a place to set up your home and to begin your marriage and to start your family, always being a guest of somebody else. That had to grate on both Daemon and Laena. But the flip side is you also have this freedom. You can go where you like, just hop on your dragons and it's the two of them against the world. There's something romantic about that. And I also think that Daemon was low-key impressed that his wife was the rider of Vhagar, the biggest of the Targaryen dragons. I think seeing Laena riding on Vhagar, Daemon saw her as an equal. About a year into her marriage, Laena realises, I'm pregnant, and it's twins, and she gives birth to their daughters, Rhaena, named after Laena's mother Rhaenys, and Baela, named after Daemon's father, Baelon. But the girls were described as small and sickly, but they both had fine features, silver white hair, and purple eyes. When they were half a year old and stronger, the girls and their mother sailed to Driftmark whilst Daemon flew ahead with both dragons. From high tide, he sent a raven to his brother in King's Landing, informing Viserys, hey, you're an uncle. Do you want to meet your nieces? Can I bring them to court? Will you bless them and welcome them into the family officially? And Viserys says yes. Even though there were people at court trying to continue to drive a wedge between Daemon and Viserys, Viserys said no, that's my brother, welcome him back. He says, Daemon is a father now, he will have changed. I don't know about that, but Fire and Blood attests that thus were the sons of Baelon Targaryen reconciled for the second time. Viserys forgave Daemon for marrying Laena without his permission, and they were welcomed into the family. I think Laena was a very good influence on Daemon. She calmed his roguish ways. She helped him grow up. Given that Daemon had always been close to Rhaenyra, some people say that there was jealousy amongst these three. I don't buy that. Even Fire and Blood says Laena, Rhaenyra, Daemon, they were all thick as thieves. They were friends, they were close, they would spend time together, a lot of time. I don't believe there was any rivalry for Daemon's affections. Laena and Rhaenyra, they were the childhood friends. They had a friendship spanning decades. They chose to spend time with each other and Daemon just happened to be there. When Laena discovered she was pregnant again, Rhaenyra dropped everything and she immediately flew to her best friend's side to be there, to help her. Sadly, we know that Laena did not survive this birth. Daemon tried his best. He brought Maester Gerardis. He tried to provide everything he could for Laena. But there was nothing he could do. We saw in House of the Dragon Laena staggering outside and begging her dragon Vhagar to Dracarys her. And in Fire and Blood, she does try to make it to Vhagar, but she doesn't quite make it all the way. She collapses, and it is Daemon that finds her and picks her up and carries her back to bed. And Daemon and Rhaenyra, they sit vigil by Laena's bedside. I think Daemon did love Laena, and I think she loved him. It's just a different relationship to the one we see Daemon have next with Rhaenyra. But that doesn't mean that this was not real, that it was not important. The awkwardness, the elephant in the room, is the timing. It's not all that long after Laena's death that Laena Velaryon dies and that Daemon and Rhaenyra get together. The timing is a little sus. I mean, if I lived in Westeros at the time, even I would be like, ooh, bit quick. But I don't think it means that Daemon did not love Laena. I do think that Daemon owes Laena a huge debt because she helped him grow into this paternal figure, and we see the fruits of that effort with Rhaenyra and their blended family further down the line. Daemon is such a good father to all of his children because Laena helped him to be that man, to grow up. His first marriage, that was a wash. It was arranged by his grandmother. Second marriage to Laena, was it advantageous? Yeah, but Daemon, he could have had his pick of everybody. Had Rhaenyra become available, I don't think Daemon would have got rid of Laena. I think he came to respect her a great deal because she did change him for the better. I see Laena's relationship with Daemon get dismissed a lot, get compared to his relationship with Rhaenyra, and I don't think that's fair. I think during this particular period in their lives, I hope they were happy. It's just sad that Laena's chapter ends there and Daemon, he goes on to have a new chapter with Rhaenyra. But that's not to diminish what he had with Laena.